would now like to invite Barbara Faulkner to the podium for an inspirational talk. With her insights and all, she always gives wonderful talks. So please welcome Barb to the podium.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And thanks for bringing the sunshine, because it was supposed to rain today. Usually when I come up here to talk, I don't talk much about myself or about me personally, so I thought for this morning, rather than bore you, I'm still not going to talk about myself. Maybe just a little bit, but I'm going to start with 3 of my past lives that I'm aware of, where I was a young child, and in each life I lost my mother as a child. I didn't have my mother to take care of me, and I never survived to adulthood in those 3 lives. So it's as if in this lifetime, my goal was to have my mother take care of me, to become an adult, and now I'm taking care of my 86-year-old mother, so far I've succeeded. And because of this, I get to celebrate my 39th birthday year after year. A couple of weeks ago, it was Mother's Day, and Father's Day is coming up soon. And I remember as a child asking my mother on Mother's Day, now why isn't there a Kids' Day? You have Mother's Day and Father's Day, why is there no Kids' Day? And her response was, well, every day is Kids' Day. I didn't feel that was right until I started raising my own children, and I knew she was bang on. So Mother's Day and Father's Day is a time of year when we think of the young mothers with their little kids, and the moms get their beautiful bouquet of pretty yellow dandelions, and Dad gets, yet again, his much-needed tie. And in the ads and the advertisement, all the commercialism, you see the young mothers with their children. And once in a while, they'll stick a grandparent in there just to make it look a little more realistic. But you rarely see, see what I call or refer to as the elderly seniors. It's like they would ruin the ad, or the people wouldn't buy the products because there's an old person in the picture. So it's, out of sight, out of mind. So I'd like to take this time to talk about and honor the elderly seniors who too often don't get recognized for everything they've done and what they deserve. They kind of get tossed to the side and cast to the curb. And I don't mean seniors as the Zellers, 55 or better. I'm talking about 80 and 90 and up. And you might wonder, what's this got to do with spiritualism? Well, there's a number of answers to that. And the number one is, it doesn't matter how old you are, whether you're newborn or over 100, you're still a child of God. And also, if you talk to an elderly person, if you take time and listen to them, you'll find as they get older, they become a little more spiritual. And those who have already been spiritual tend to become more so, as if they're preparing for their spirit world. And they have so much valuable information stored up there, so much life experiences, and they don't get to get it out, to let it out, because people just don't want to listen. And we know there's no such thing as coincidences, so there's a reason they're still on this earth plane. And perhaps it's for us to learn more. And I can understand from illnesses and disabilities that some of the seniors can't stay in their own homes, or even live with families, so they may have to reside in a nursing home. But just because the nursing home becomes their home, it doesn't mean they should be cast aside. And there should be no reason why a senior should ever be alone at Christmas time or on their birthdays or Mother's Day or Father's Day or any day of the year. There's no reason why a senior should wake up and look forward to looking at 4 walls. And I understand too that young parents are busy with their careers and taking care of the kids, helping them with their homework, driving them to their sports or whatever activities, so they just don't have the time. And teenagers, they don't want to be bothered with old, feeble people, and they're just too busy trying to get to the next level of Angry Birds. No, old age may mean the ending of hearing well, or seeing well, or getting around well, but it doesn't mean it's the end of loving well. Being unloved hurts. Feeling unloved hurts. And all it takes is a smile, a hello, good morning, maybe a little hug, or just a few minutes to listen to. And not just to family seniors, but all seniors. You know, your neighbors, or when you go shopping, wherever you find a senior. A few years ago, I had a senior neighbor. Well, she was a few blocks away. God bless her soul, because God's looking after her now. Well, she was 90 years old. She lived alone. She couldn't hear well. She was going blind from diabetes. But she spent a lot of time in her kitchen. But she couldn't cook anymore. So once in a while on a Saturday morning, I'd go over and I'd make her cream of wheat for breakfast. She loved her cream of wheat. And one morning, I was over there, and she was really upset and scared. Why? Because the light bulb went out on the kitchen ceiling. Something so simple. So I just went in and got up on a chair and changed her light bulb. Just a simple act. And it not only brightened her kitchen, it brightened her day. So I made tea, and we sat and talked. Well, she talked about how 60 years before, her and her late husband had bought the property and built their home on it and raised a couple of children. And you might wonder, you know, what did I get out of it? Well, her peace of mind, a few laughs, her smile, precious, priceless. And as I grow older and get older, I'll probably forget some of her stories, but I'll never forget her smile. These seniors have amazing stories. Some have worked hard, raised a family, and that alone is a feat. Some have lived through a depression. Some have lived through wars. So when a senior starts to tell you the same story over again, don't look at it as, this has got to be the 10th time I've heard the story. But ask yourself, what did I miss the other 9 times? You'll probably find something. They are remarkable people. But unfortunately, some seniors today are experiencing horrific things in their lives that years ago you didn't even have to think about. Like being abused, beaten, even raped, scammed and conned out of their life savings, their homes. And this is happening now in Canada, in Ontario, even in Durham. So what's happened to the respect, the love we're supposed to have for our elders? And how many more have to suffer before it stops? And God willing, we'll be an elderly citizen, senior ourselves one day. And the way we treat our seniors is the way our children will treat seniors, including us. They learn from us, and they pick up things at such a young age. And we as adults, we don't even realize they're watching and listening and learning. I received in the email a short little story, which is along what I'm talking about. It's there's no author, probably not a true story, but it's a possible story. So as I read it, close your eyes or your mind and just picture it. Just picture it actually happening. And if you don't have Kleenexes, there's some up here. It's called The Wooden Bowl, and it's been around. I've read it before, but it really tells it the way it is. a frail old man went to live with his son and daughter-in-law and their 4-year-old grandson. The old man's hands trembled, his eyesight was blurred, and his step faltered. The family ate together at the table, but the elderly grandfather's shaky hands and failing sight made eating difficult. Peas rolled off his spoon onto the floor. When he grasped the glass, milk spilled on the tablecloth. The son and daughter-in-law became irritated with the mess. "We must do something about father," said the sons. "I've had enough of his spilled milk, noisy eating, and food on the floor." So the husband and wife set a small table in the corner. There grandfather ate alone while the rest of the family enjoyed dinner. And since grandfather had broken a dish or two, his food was served in a wooden bowl. When the family glanced in grandfather's direction, sometimes he had a tear in his eye as he sat alone. Still, the only words the couple had for him were sharp admonitions when he dropped a fork or spilled food. The 4-year-old watched in silence. One evening before supper, the father noticed his son playing with wood scraps on the floor. He asked the child sweetly, "What are you making?" Just as sweetly, the boy responded, "Oh, I'm making a little bowl for you and Mama to eat your food in when I grow up." The 4-year-old smiled and went back to work. The words so struck the parents so that they were speechless. Then tears started to stream down their cheeks. Though no word was spoken, both knew what must be done. That evening, the husband took grandfather's hand and gently led him back to the family table. For the remainder of his days, he ate every meal with the family. And for some reason, neither husband nor wife seemed to care any longer when a fork was dropped, milk spilled, or the tablecloth soiled. So one day we will be there, and this isn't something we want for ourselves. So what happened to the golden rule, do unto others as you want done to you? There's even grant adoptions for grannies or grandfathers organizations, so you can adopt a grandparent, because they understand that these seniors still have a purpose in their life, and they're valuable children of God. And you can never have too many grandparents. Coming into this world can be a really frightening experience, but leaving it can also be just as frightening. So if we can watch over and take care of our children, so can we too watch over and take care of our elderly until they're ready to go home. I also have a little saying that was written by Audrey Hepburn. She was an actress that went into missionary work after retiring. And I'll end it with her little talk. It was also read at her funeral. It's more geared toward women, but it can be for everyone. For attractive lips, it's dry up here. Speak words of kindness. For lovely eyes, seek out the good in people. For a slim figure, share your food with the hungry. For beautiful hair, let a child run his or her fingers through it once a day. For poise, walk with the knowledge that you never walk alone. People, even more than things, have to be restored, renewed, revived, reclaimed, and redeemed. Never throw out anyone. Remember, if you ever need a helping hand, you will find one at each of your arms. And as you grow older, you will discover you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And salute a senior. And God bless you all. Thank you.
I'll be back.